Hello everybody, this is John with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today I'm here to answer some questions on soy protein, specifically about some of the myths out there pertaining to it. Soy protein comes from soybeans, those of you that don't know. It's a rich source of protein. The thing about soy is it's kind of a double-edged sword. On one side of the ledger you have groups usually with a vested interest claiming all these health benefits, and then on the other side you have groups saying that you're going to turn into a girl if you drink it if you're a man, and so on and so forth. So just want to clear all that kind of stuff up with this video. Soy does contain isoflavones, which are potentially estrogenic or induce estrogen. The reality is, though, in a large review by I think Johns Hopkins University, they found that it doesn't significantly affect testosterone levels in men, so you can throw that concern out of the window right away. In terms of effects on breast cancer and prostate cancer specifically, they've done some long-range studies, and it may have some health benefits there. I can't say 100% for sure. Another thing to consider, too, is soy is big business, so when I did look into the research and stuff, I did consider the fact that there's a lot of money that goes into putting soy in a positive light, but there's also money that comes in the other way to make other food sources, for instance, make better. So I highly doubt that the soy protein industry has got their claws into all of the different journals and so on and so forth, if you will. So those of you, I know those concerns will tend to come up, but the reality is soy protein is fine. If you're not a vegan, I wouldn't necessarily seek it out because it's pretty ubiquitous in the food supply. You're going to get plenty of it, so I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to get it. But if you're at your favorite sushi restaurant and you want edamame or something like that, it's totally fine. I wouldn't worry about that in that sense. Like I said, I just wouldn't seek it out in a powder. But at the same time, I wouldn't go out of my way to avoid it either if it's if you're really, really concerned or anything like that. Because the reality is just the peer-reviewed research doesn't show a bunch of problems with it. And keep in mind, we're talking about otherwise healthy individuals here. If somebody brings up something like people like hypothyroidism or something like that, yeah, there may be some concerns there. It's usually in combination with an iodine deficiency, which really is more or less uncommon. Another one that will come up maybe is with like infants and formula. My neighbor recently had a question about it. I would definitely avoid putting an infant in a soy-based formula because there is some evidence that it's definitely inferior to dairy-based, or the best being mother's milk being the best source. So. But for otherwise healthy athletes, it's fine. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian and it is one of your protein sources, it's totally fine. I would say instead of just getting a pure soy protein, I would look for something maybe that has like a blend. This one I grabbed here actually does not have soy, but it is a blend of various plant-based proteins. And that's becoming more and more common trend with some of the plant-based protein powders. They've really improved a lot because they're using quite a few different sources to complement each other to build a better amino acid profile with a plant-based protein. Plant-based proteins tend to be lacking in some of the sulfur-containing amino acids such as cysteine and methionine and things like that. So a lot of them are being fortified. They're also having BCAAs added to them. There's this one, the raw protein from Garden of Light. There's Plant Fusion, which is another really popular one. There's others that just escape me off the top of my head. So if you are somebody who wants to avoid animal-based proteins, they've definitely improved, and I wouldn't be resounded just having one specific type of protein, whether it's soy or hemp. Try and get a blend so that way you can get a more complete amino acid profile, because in and of themselves some of the plant-based ones tend to be lacking. So I think with soy, like I said, it's not something, I just want to make this point one more time, that I would avoid, and because I'm concerned about my estrogen shooting up, that evidence really isn't there. At the same time, I wouldn't seek it out in a powder if I'm going to supplement with a protein, unless I was a vegetarian or vegan, and if it's part of a blend, great. I think that's totally fine. So I hope that cleared up the myths for you guys. You don't have to worry. You're not going to, like I said, you're not going to grow breasts if you're a male and you're ingesting soy protein. And then, females, tend not to have that concern. But just in case you had concerns, otherwise because of it, don't worry about it. The evidence just isn't there. Somebody who's telling you that has not looked through any of the peer-reviewed evidence. They're just kind of making it up as they go. So if you guys have any questions on that, please feel free to post them in the comment section. More than happy to answer those. Also, you can check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thank you for watching.